Hello, people. Welcome back to the OCM Botcast. I am the host, Chad Marco, and today's episode is called Cashier Girl. Now, it's not really what you think. I haven't been stalking another retail worker, but rather I was on R9K and I saw this thread where this girl had posted a TikTok where this dude was trying to hit on her while she was working at a cash register at a retail job. And it was a massive thread, got a lot of feedback, and I was like, yo, that's not just a thread of the day, that is the main topic. Like that video was a great demonstration of so many different things, the folly of the code approach, how some guys don't have the social skills to recognize when someone's not interested in them, how women deal with being approached by guys in their little passive aggressive way. There's really a lot to unpack in that video. It's fantastic, and the thread that followed and all the different opinions. Some people sided with the guy, some people sided with the girl, and everything in between, man. So I decided to make that the main topic and the TOD. So that's all gonna be combined into one. So this might be a shorter episode, and there won't be any news either because, quite frankly, I haven't been really tapped into what's going on. It's the holidays, so that's really been my focus, not necessarily as far as like me being so into the holidays like that, but it kind of, the holidays just give you an excuse to spend money. Then you buying people gifts, and people might give you stuff, and you off from work and shit like that. So it gives you an excuse to be kind of disconnected from things because everybody's so focused on the holidays. So really, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on in the world other than like Betty White died at the age of 99. The Lakers suck. Some lady named Maxwell connected to the Epstein case was found guilty or something. That's all I know. There was a big fire in my state where QVC burned down. It's little things going on, but I'm really not tapped into what's happening to a large extent. So I don't really have a news for today, which is fine. We kind of just omit certain segments as necessary. But it's still going to be a great episode for you guys. So since we're not going to have a news segment, we're going to go right into a little bit of OC, then the main topic, then comments, then I'm going to get out of here. So again, it's going to be like a shorter episode. But before I get into the OC and the main topic, make sure you guys take this time to hit the like button, subscribe. No, wait, you probably already subscribed. You probably already subscribed if you're listening to this. But if you're already subscribed, shield this video and any other video that I've made all across the internet. Let's get these numbers up. Let's make some money. Let's do awesome things. Okay, so another thing. I posted this on my community board, but I uploaded a song to the Patreon finally. The Patreon has just been kind of there collecting chump change. I appreciate it, but it's just been kind of sitting there without me really putting anything up there. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to have to reward the Patreon supporters with something. So, what I'm going to do is they're going to have like early access to certain songs. And so I uploaded the intro from the upcoming drill music mixtape to the Patreon. So people who are subscribed over there get early access to that. Of course, I'm going to continue putting music on this channel. It's just that I got to give the Patreon supporters something special. And you can subscribe to the Patreon for like as little as $1. And as I'm thinking about that, I'm realizing that's not a great business model. Don't be surprised if that jumps up to like 5. But nah, I'm not gonna be a greedy bastard. as of yet, we'll just leave it at $1. So you can just subscribe for $1. You can still get access to it. So it wouldn't even be that much. So that's that. And I'm trying to think. One more thing, because this is something I really wanted to talk about for a long time. Because it's Christmas just passed. It's New Year now. It's New Year's now. And I was thinking back to an old Christmas with my dad, because my mom doesn't celebrate Christmas. So every now and then my dad would pick us up and he would take us over there for Christmas. And he was remarried at this point, and so we had a stepsister that was the daughter of his wife, right? Our stepsister. So we go over there for Christmas. It's me, my sister, and my half brother, and of course the stepsister. And so normally during Christmas time over there, it was very exciting because we knew we were going to get some good gifts. This time was a bit different. So Christmas arrives and it's time to unpack the presents. It's time to do all the, holiday festivities and whatnot. And so me, my sister, and my half brother, that we're my father's children, like his blood children. We're opening these gifts and it's like a bunch of Dollar Tree toys. Like, you ever been to the toy section in a Dollar Tree or a Dollar General? How it's just a bunch of cheap bullshit, like whoopee cushions and army men and little cap guns and shit. And like little like off-brand wrestling men, shit like that. We got like a handful of stuff like that, bruh. Like different little like Dollar Tree toys. My stepsister, she got like a new, I think she got like a PlayStation, a Nintendo 64, like a candy maker, dolls, toys. I mean, she got some awesome shit. She got some cool shit. It was amazing. And we just looking like, wait a minute, why did she get all this cool shit and we got a bunch of Dollar Tree toys? And of course we didn't confront him about it. We were too young to do all that, but it was obvious to us that she got much better, more expensive toys than we got. And so I was thinking back on it recently. I thought back to it. I was like, why did that happen, right? And I think I know why. I think I know what happened. After all these years, I think I know what happened. At that time, my dad wasn't working. He was trying to get on disability because he had a bad leg or something like that. So he wasn't really working. But his wife was. She was working. And this is what I think happened. I think that she didn't want to take her money to buy us toys and gifts. She took her money and focused it on buying stuff for her child, her one daughter, our stepsister. And Floyd had to, I just put my dad's there. Floyd, my dad, Hurricane Floyd, he had to go out his pocket to buy gifts for us. And looking back, I believe that's what that was. I think that she didn't want to contribute to him having to buy us toys, so she focused all her money on buying toys for her daughter, and my dad had to buy toys for us. And since he wasn't working at the time, I think that's why we got a bunch of Dollar Tree toys. But that was such a fucked up thing for a child to go through, though. Because at the time, we don't understand the dynamics of what's going on. And we're not in a position to really ask about it either, right? We're just looking at each other like, what the fuck? But it's just funny because I was thinking about it because all these years later, I finally put two and two together. It was like, oh, that's what it was. Because back then, I didn't understand how there's a certain amount of like jealousy within relationships where it's like the new girl or the new wife is gonna feel she's gonna feel some sort of jealousy towards the ex, the old baby mama and whatnot, right? Because there's still like some competition anxiety there, because we're not her kids. We are not. She has no. I mean, she was always nice to us. Don't get me wrong, and that's why I never thought about it. That's why I never put the pieces together like that, because she was so nice to us. But now that I'm older, I realize that that it's very likely that underneath her kindness and her smiles, she probably for sure felt some sense of jealousy or negativity towards us and my mom, because we were just pretty much her husband's baggage. because we really didn't have a very close relationship with her or my father. We would go over there like twice a year at the most for like a weekend. So I would see my dad for like maybe 10 days out of a whole year on average, and that was up until I was like in my like later teens, you know. And and so she didn't have any kind of real connection with us other than the brief time that we spent together, like on Christmas, on the holidays and whatnot. And so now when I look back, I kind of realized like, yeah, that was probably it. She didn't want to go out of her pocket for somebody else's kids, her husband's baggage. And I'm sure they had a conversation about it, might even had an argument about it, but I never forgot that. And I just want to talk about it because I'm older now and I finally can look back and figure out like, oh, that's probably what it was. But yeah, I gotta say that was like the worst Christmas ever, because just sitting there and just comparing like what we got. So I'm telling you, bro, she got like some cool ass shit. Ice cream makers, candy makers, consoles, games, baby dolls and toys and shit, man, clothes, I mean, gift cards. And we sitting here, I mean, bruh, just imagine you go to the Dollar Tree and just get like a basket and then fill like up, not a cart, a basket, and fill it up with Dollar Tree toys and then split that between 3 kids and maybe throw like a shirt and some pants in there, right? That's what we got. And compared to her, like Nintendos and dude, it was crazy. I'll never forget that shit, man. But that's story time of the day. That's story time of the day. So hope you guys enjoyed that little tale. So of course, before I get into the OC, we have to do the Buddha quote of the day. I think I'm gonna do 2 a day. I mean, two an episode too, so we don't. So I can get through this damn book. But the first one is: standing or walking, sitting or lying down, during all these waking hours, let him establish mindfulness of goodwill, which men call the highest state. Did I already do that? I think I did that one last week. So the next one is: when you spoke of wholesome dharmas, which one did you mean? I meant morality, faith, vigor, mindfulness, and concentration. So, all right, first of all, what is a dharma? I don't want to sit here and not know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm going to Google it real quick. But I'm assuming a dharma is like a principle or something. Okay, in Indian religion, the eternal and inherent nature of reality, regarded in Hinduism as a cosmic law underlying right behavior and social order. In Buddhism, the nature of reality regarded as a universal truth taught by the Buddha, the teaching of Buddhism, an aspect of truth or reality. So basically, it's like a principle. Then it's like, yeah, pretty much like I said. it's like a principle, but I guess more of an objective principle than a personal subjective principle. So let me read that again. When you spoke of wholesome dharmas, which ones did you mean? I meant morality, faith, vigor, mindfulness, and concentration. Okay, so morality, morality, morality. You know, I've been thinking about like what's most important to me, you know. And what the conclusion that I came to is the conclusion that I came to is after kind of reflecting and going over it, I realized that the most valuable things are the things you can't really see and touch, right? It's things like honor, dignity, integrity, character, principles, and whatnot. And you could throw morality in there as well. Faith. Now, I would say faith is something I've never really been strong in. I'm not really big on faith when it comes to a lot of things. I mean, I have a certain degree of like self-belief, but I will always admit that I've always been one who's like lacking in like in like faith in terms of like the overall picture working out, like in terms of the world. You know, I feel like I have enough ability to you know, position myself to do well in life, but faith as a whole, vigor. I like that word. Let me look it up real quick. I have an idea of what it means, like determination and energy, but I just want to get the actual definition. Physical strength and good health, effort, energy, enthusiasm. They set about the new task with vigor, physical strength and good health. So yes, that's also very important. You know, I'm a big believer in taking care of your body. I work out a lot. I try and fail to eat healthy, but I do feel like a vigorous young man. So, you know, that's also one of my core principles is taking care of the body. Mindfulness and concentration. Now that's something that I'm working on because I tend to overthink things. I tend to suffer from analysis paralysis. And you know what that does is it can distract you from the now. It can distract you from the moment. And that's one of the things I've been trying to improve, you know. And usually what I'll do if I sense my mind like drifting off, I'll take a deep breath like and try to bring myself back to my center, my core, where all my values and goals and shit are. That's what I've been doing is like if I feel myself like drifting off mentally, I'll take a deep breath and kind of just bring myself back to where I am and figure out, okay, what's the next move that I gotta make? Because I can be very aloof and have my heads in the clouds and just thinking about all kind of like random shit. So I gotta be careful with that. And concentration as well. That's another thing that I have to work on because it's so many distractions in the world today. It's easy to get thrown off track if you don't have the self-discipline to stay focused on the task at hand. So we got some good wisdom today. Let me bookmark this. Okay, so that was the Buddha quotes of the day, and just another reminder, make sure you hit the like button because people say it does good things. Okay, so I'm going to transition from this intro to the OC. So stay tuned. Okay, so welcome back to the Botcast. So now we have what the fuck was that? So now we have the OC segment, and what you just heard was just like some random guitar riffs that I found in a recent creative thread on R9K. See, I just kind of came in differently. But yeah, those were pretty dope. But there's after this next one, we're gonna focus in because we have another entry from our good friend Flim Flam Whizzle. So we're gonna roast his song after this song by let me get this name right. Hermit of Babylon. So here is Hermit of Babylon.
Alone again. You're with your special friend. Pretty towns, pretty towns, feeling pretty towns. So look right through me with those precious eyes. Speak onto me with those little lies. Thinking of me with a clever disguise. Feeling down. precious eyes speak unto me with those little lies. Think you know me with that clever disguise. Precious eyes speak unto me with those little lies. Think you know me with the clever disguise.
In the sky. That was Hermit of Babylon. So I like that one right there. It kind of made me think of robot music, but if I wasn't a rapper, like it has a robot melancholy, moody vibe to it. You know, it's just that it's of a different genre. You know, I may rap, but that's kind of what I would imagine robot music would sound like if it was like alternative rock or something like that. But I really dig that. I could hear that being in like a low budget Sundance movie, like doing a little not a montage, but you know, like just like some scene of like, okay, here's the main character just going about his life. He's on the bus. Now he's walking off of the bus. He steps into some shit. His life sucks. Like I could hear that being in like a low budget Sundance movie. And I don't mean that as an insult. That's actually high praise. Oh man. Okay. So next we have our good friend, a friend of the channel, the moderator of the chat. Let's really call him out. Let's put all the for this one. Okay, so this is Flim Flam Whizzle with Wildfire.
Hey, you already know who it is. You already know who it is. I'll be coming back with the biz. I be on this track, I be burning up like a wildfire. Okay, here we go, got me peeling out like a big tire. You know how we flow, out here singing like we a whole choir. Do you hear that beat? Boot it up, we want that sound higher. We want that sound high. Hear that crackle pop, get to cooking like we an air fryer. Situation tense, write them lyrics down like it's real dire. Hanging from a thread, but it's tough just like some steel wire. Hop up and grab a blue Yeti, let them work like me making spaghetti. Knees may be locked in and ready, as for my palms, you know they stay sweaty. I'm about to soar through the air, we ballin' out, we wish you were there. Hopping about with no care, man it's a shame that happiness rare. Hey, whoa, hey man, don't even know what I wanna say. Feeling like I'm $1 million just out here to enjoy the day. Rocking out like real hard, even if life in disarray. Gotta perfect all my crafts on the modern skills in the fine clay. Hey, hop on the strap, try to bite with my fangs. Losing my percent, I let it off with a bang. Dang, oh you know I let it rain. Pain, yeah I need it for the game. Hey, I'm just here to let you know. Talking that smack, you can get out my dough. Off the wall, on the floor. Already know that we up in the scope. Ain't complicated, no physics. Don't care about no critics. Big game with no gimmicks. Big lane with no limits. We about to go get it. Big pie and we split it. They asked who making noise in the studio. Well we did it, huh? Oh yeah, we did it, man. Oh yeah, we popped off, we planting flags like the Taliban. Say what I want cause I can. I'm moving fast like a stand. Go back to where it all began. Ultimately, all just according to plan. All just according to plan. I want a slice of the pie. I don't mess with no pecan. Go ahead, hit the replay. Yeah, I know you's a fan. Got the message on the relay. Oh, we bringing out the band.
So that was Flim Flam. I don't know why I keep calling him Flim Flam. That's my personal rap name. Flim Flam Whizzle with Wildfire. So, you know, I like that beat because I made it. And it hurts my feelings when I hear somebody not do it justice. If you're going to use my beat, in fact, you know what? I don't even mind like using them for practice like that. So I don't want to give people the wrong idea. You can suck on my beat, but I'm just I'm just saying that, you know, when you make a beat, you want someone to do it justice. And Flim Flam's on this beat, just stanking it up. Oh boy, but where do I begin? But you know, I'm listening to it and I realized something though. Flim actually has a grasp for spitting and putting words together. I will say that. I think the biggest issue is that when I listen to this song, and it's just like the last one that I reviewed, it's like Flim doesn't merge his vocals with the beat the right way. You know, like you and the beat have to become one. And, you know, I can even look back to some of my older songs and I can see spots where I really didn't like edit it correctly to get that good synergy between the vocals and the beat. But when I listen to this, like and the previous one as well, the way it sounds, it just sounds like someone who's playing a beat and freestyling over it, like, and not even like doing it in like a cool hot 98.7 freestyle kind of way. It's just like it's kind of like with Gurren Lagann, right? Gurren and Lagann combine perfectly to create something better. Like that's how you have to combine with the beat. But the way Flim puts it together is like taking Gurren and putting a garbage truck on top, trying to merge it with a garbage. No, taking Lagann and then trying to make it merge with a garbage truck. It's like it doesn't work. It doesn't fit. But again, the good news is that he does have a grasp for like spitting, and rapping and putting his words together. Oh God. And that random reverb part, that was probably the best part because, you know, I think reverb is an effect that does help merge raw vocals with damn near any beat. But then he changes his whole voice and he does like this raspy, like, and I'm like, oh boy. Like, is he just trying to make me upset? But you know, he still has a very, very long way to go. But you know, again, I say all this, but it's nothing less than what I had to go through to get to where I am today. I always tell people, go back and listen to Chill Generation Part 1, because that was like my first mixtape when I was a part of a group called Chill Boys, and we sucked ass. But we had to get through that. We had to get through those whack days, those whack songs to get to the you know where we are today. So you know, I'm roasting the hell out of Flim, but you know, it's all in good fun because I went through the same shit, and that's why a lot of times when I put my own music up here on the Botcast in the OC section, it'll always be like mostly like my older stuff, so people can hear like the progress of where I've come from. In fact, the next song is going to be one of my oldest songs from like right when I started like really focusing on like making solo songs. So here's an old song just to give you a taste of where I used to be, right? So here is Chad Marco with Evil Dead. cabin in the woods, chillin' with my best friends. Just then, niggas started acting real crazy. Maybe we should run, but we can't leave. He dead, she dead, and now they trying to get me. But fuck that, I got the backup plan. Chainsaw in the left, shotgun in the other hand. My boomstick go boom, bitch. Watch your head before you lose it. Grab the axe and chop you up. Somebody gon' have to mop you up. My boomstick go boom, bitch. Watch your head before you lose it. Grab the axe and chop you up. Somebody gon' have to mop you up. Grab the chainsaw and cut your head off. Try to run, bitch, I cut your legs off. Take your drawers off and cut your balls off. That fucking sword off and knock them all off. Eliminate on sight, been killing all goddamn night, bitch. Fight, bitch. Hit him with the hands or knock him out with like 5 bricks. Bricks. All hell broke loose in this goddamn cabin, and now I'm just stabbing any motherfucker that's snapping. What's happening? You step to me and get chopped up. The same goes for any motherfucker that pop up. I'm the guy with the gun. You're the guy that should run. I kill demons for fun. And I've only begun. Got bullets for days. I never run out. You don't wanna stay when I aim at your mouth. Throw that bitch in the sailor. Nah, fuck it, just kill her. Chainsaw to your neck, bitch. Run it through to your headless. Boomstick, red shit. Come back, get your boomstick, go boom, bitch. Watch your head before you lose it. Grab the axe and chop you up. Somebody gon' have to mop you up. My boomstick, go boom, bitch. Watch your head before you lose it. Grab the axe and chop you up. Somebody gon' have to mop you up. Grab the chainsaw and cut your head off. Try to run, bitch, I cut your legs off. Take your drawers off and cut your balls off. That fucking sword off and knock them all off. Grab the chainsaw and cut your head off. Try to run, bitch, I cut your legs off. Take your drawers off and cut your balls off. That fucking sword off and knock them all off. My boomstick go boom, bitch. Watch your head before you lose it. Grab the axe and chop you up. Somebody gon' have to mop you up. My boomstick go boom, bitch. Watch your head before you lose it. Grab the axe and chop you up. Somebody gon' have to mop you up. Get the chainsaw. So that was Chad Marco with Evil Dead, a blast from the past. And if anyone is ever feeling doubtful about their rap ability, just go back, listen to some of my older stuff from like the Blow mixtape, especially the New Generation mixtape. But again, like I said before, you gotta go, like most people, you gotta go through that to get to the point where you have a better grasp of like putting songs together. But listening to Evil Dead, right? One thing that it had that Flim didn't have is a concept. You know, like that it's the song is goddamn. the song is a mess, but there's a concept, right? Because I made that song because I was watching all the Evil Dead movies, and I was like, oh, let's make an Evil Dead song. So there's a concept there. So as bad as it was, as crude as it was, like on one hand, it is kind of funny, some of the lyrics, and there's a concept that's easy to follow. Like there's a theme, right? There's a theme of, okay, demon possession and killing demons and using various weapons to kill them and whatnot. And I'm having fun. So as bad as the song is there's a theme, there's a concept there, and that's one of the major things that Flim is missing from his particular song. It's like there's no real theme. It's called Wildfire, but what's Wildfire about it? You know, like if I'm gonna make a song called Wildfire, then it's either gonna be like Wildfire is either gonna be pertaining to the hook, or it would be like a freestyle type song where I'm just going hard. And Flim won't do it either. So again, it's like, what's the theme? What's the point? What's the concept of the song? And at least Evil Dead had that. It had a theme and some semi funny lyrics. So, but at the time when I made it, you know, I was just excited to just be doing it. So, of course, it doesn't hold up to my new stuff, but I still have to appreciate it because at the time, I was just having fun. I was enjoying myself. I was enjoying doing what I was doing. I was excited. I would listen to it like, oh man, this is cool. Little did I know. But yeah, that's the OC segment of the day. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And next we're getting into the main topic / TOD. So stay tizzle. Okay, so welcome back. As you can see, we switched things up just a little bit because I'm going to do a live reaction to this cringy ass video of this young man trying to committing the heinous crime of trying to talk to a female that he wants to have sex with. Oh my God. So like I said before, man, this episode is called Cashier Girl, and it's the whole thing is based around this whole this whole scene here where this guy trying to basically talk to this young lady who happens to be a cashier, and you can tell like he's trying to work himself up into asking her out, like by asking like all these asinine questions and whatnot, and she's obviously annoyed the whole time. So I'm going to watch the video and then, you know, stop it and give my take on it as it goes along. Fair use, don't sue me, whoever the hell would do that. Okay, so let's get started. So right here you have she's saying why do men, like, I'm just trying to do my job. So she's obviously a cashier and who's trying to do her job, and she's annoyed by this guy who's trying to talk to her. You can't see the guy, but you can see her, and she's pretty I think she's pretty okay looking. I saw people in the thread saying that, like, calling her ugly or like a basic bitch and all that. And she, you know, she's kind of, I guess she is kind of basic, but I think some people are like exaggerating. She's pretty cute. I know, like, I wouldn't mind having a girl of that level of attractiveness. She's not bad looking at all.
What?
Are you in high school?
No.
Graduated?
Yeah.
So right here, are you in high school? So it's obvious that he was asking that question to get a idea of how old she was, because when you are approaching young women, you got to be careful, especially nowadays, because you don't want to end up talking to a girl that's even 17, let alone like 15, 14 on accident. Now, that might sound extreme, but dude, I'm telling you, like, these girls are developing so rapidly. You know, I know there's a young lady around the age of like 12 and 13 in our area that is related to the family. I'll just put it like that. And even my mom, I've heard her say it on multiple occasions now. This girl is like 13 or so. And even my mom has said that girl is built like a grown woman. Like built like a grown, like just, breasts, big butt, thick thighs, like tallish, not tall, but like tall for a girl, like 5'6" or 5'7", like built like a woman. And more girls are like going through like this early puberty. I don't know if it's something in the food, but you got to be careful because some of these girls that are like 15, 16 look like they like 20 years old, bro. And so you can tell like that's why he probably asked was she in high school because she's at that age where she could be anywhere from 16 to 21. Like the way she looks, she could be from 16 to 21, and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. She could tell me she's 16 and somebody else she's 21, and again it would be the same response. Like, okay, I guess that makes sense, right? And in fact, before I move on, I know there was that other video of the guy who approached that girl, and people were mad at him because she was 18 but looked like she was like 16, right? And that's why you got to be careful with stuff like that. So it made sense why he would ask if she's still in high school. But this is just yet another reason why I don't even bother asking girls out, And just one more thing. Like, I remember I was in the store and I was asking the cashier's girl something, and it was this young lady beside me who was with her mom. And the whole time I'm talking to the cashier lady, this girl is just staring at me. I mean, just staring at me, right? And you would say, oh, choosing signal, right? But I'm looking at her and I can't tell I could not tell if she was like 16 or 20, and she was with her mom. So I was like, she got to be like 16 or something. But you got to be careful with shit like that, bro.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Kent.
Tell it. All right. So she lied and said that she goes to Kent. That just made me think of the ballad of Kentre Brown. Gave me your number, but it was incorrect. Just a distraction that you employ for lames who think they macking. Y'all think I'm fucking playing, bro. I be rapping some of the realest shit. I be rapping some of the realest shit. Now, she didn't give him a fake number, but she gave him, like, throughout the video, you learn that she gave him a fake university and a fake name. Like, that's what girls do. It's a distraction that you employ for lames who think they macking. It's just to shut you the fuck up and get you to go away.
Yeah, it's about 40 minutes. 19.
So right there, he was more direct and asked how old she was. Because I guess, now, of course, asking if she's in high school, that gives you a good indication of her age. But she could technically be 17 in college, because some people graduate early. So that's probably, maybe he thought of it and he was like, okay, let me be a little bit more direct and make sure here, because she could be 17 or something like that. But look at her face. Look at her face when he asked. Like, look, like she's in work mode. She's in work mode, so she can't express it, but you can see it. She is so mad. Like, she, not even mad. She's disgusted. Like, she's like, because, God, dude, like, that's why this video is so amazing. There's so much to unpack with this shit. There's so much to discuss here. But I believe the reason why him asking that has her so disgusted is because he's directly confronting the issue of not wanting to talk to a girl who's underage. But by doing that, he's admitting that she looks like she could potentially be underage, right? And so now I'm not trying to call him like a pedophile, creeper, or what is it, hebephile, whatever. I'm not trying to say that that's what it is. He's just being careful, but he's acknowledging it. And that's what's making her disgusted. Because now, because he's acknowledging it, she's seeing him in that light, right? And that's why she has that look. And on top of that, it's becoming more and more obvious that he's trying to work his way up to ask her out, right? But the thought crossed his mind, she might be underage. And all of these things are circling through her head, and it's making her upset. It's making her disgusted with this guy. See, right there, it just flashed. Let me see if I can rewind it there. Oh, hold on, I went too far. Look, oh God, look at that face. Oh, she's like, get me out of here. I want to go. Take me home. So I remember. Hey, Nikki, fake name. So she gave him a fake name.
I think you got it.
So it seems like he's trying to ask her for help, and she's shutting that down. Like, nah, you got it. You got it, nigga.
Yep.
Mm-hmm, you got it. Oh, she's pleased with herself.
Kent.
There's a city called Kent and the college called Kent. Is that like East Cleveland?
No, it's Kent, Ohio.
So it's not even part of Cleveland.
No.
It's part of Northeast Ohio.
I guess.
I'm gonna take this.
Okay.
My
She is so annoyed.
321.
Can I pay with this? And oh shit, sorry.
It seems like he's trying to like stall. Like he's trying to like drag this shit out.
Yeah.
Like, oh, can I pay in cash? Wait, I got a card. Oh man, this is PayPal card. Oh, I got a money order. Oh damn, like Visa gift card. Like what the food stamps, EBT. Like, nah, dude. Oh God, she is so fed up.
You wanna know my thing?
I'm good.
Wouldn't take his card out of the machine. He's
You want
stalling.
your receipt?
I don't know.
Alright, you're all set.
You're good. Go, leave.
I know.
Yep.
Am I though? Am I though? Oh God. He's about to make his move.
Sorry about that. You have Instagram?
No.
So that was right there. That's the move. See, do you have an Instagram? That's like the new, let me get your number, because of the prevalence of social media now. Now you could just say you got a Facebook, got an Instagram. Like I'm sure you guys have heard of that story I told you about the cashier girl who had basically asked for my number. Before she asked for my number, she asked if I had a Facebook or Instagram and shit like that. And back then I didn't have an Instagram, nothing like that. So yeah. That's like the new can I get your number? Like she had asked me if I had a Facebook. Like back then Facebook was still like cool. So and this is relatively new. So I guess now it's like Instagram is fully taking over. So Instagram is like the new Facebook, which was the new phone number. You see what I'm saying? So that right here it's official. He's officially asking her out. Right? Do you have an Instagram? That's no different than you saying, can I have your number? When you say, do you have an Instagram? And she's saying no, which I don't, I seriously doubt. A young lady without Instagram, she got some type of social media to connect with her friends.
You're too cool for Instagram?
I don't like social media.
Lie, yeah, shit. So she just lied. I don't like social media. Lols lie. Let me see if I can catch that.
I don't like social media.
I don't like social media. LOLs lie. Of course, a young lady who doesn't like social media, and I'm not trying to bash her for being yet another social media indulger. I indulge in social media myself. I'm just saying it's gonna be very difficult to find a young lady who isn't going to take advantage of the benefits of having multiple social media accounts and the attention, the money, and all the different things that go along with that.
Why not?
Perpetuate some bad vibes from people.
Perpetuate some bad vibes from people. Yo, this girl is good though. Like, if I was lying like that, I couldn't perpetuate some bad vibes. I couldn't flip shit like that quick, bro. I couldn't flip shit like that. Oh man, I mean, it's like she's ready though. It's like she's prepared for this shit. I remember when I was at work and this. Oh man, I remember when I was at work and this stud dude looking girl, I think she was trying to talk to me. She asked if I had a girlfriend, and I said, nah, I like being single too much. And then she said, you like getting laid, right? And then I said, no comment. See, I ain't have that extra line. I didn't have that extra line ready, right? I had the first one like, oh no, I like being single too much. And I thought that was good. I was like, I'm in there. I'm like, that's it. I'm about to just skate away. Then she hit me like with the more direct, hit, right? You like getting laid, right? And I had nothing, so I had to say no comment and walked away. Oh man, but this girl is ready. I like her.
You're cute.
You're cute. She is kind of cute though. Oh god. Now it's just getting worse and worse. It's like he's digging himself deeper and deeper into the hole.
Thanks.
Uncomfy as fuck.
The heck is that?
No,
You ever go to the beach?
not really.
Or Lake Erie? On a boat?
It's not really a beach, is it? It's a lake.
Sip. She is just so ready for him to leave, bruh. I think he finally left in. Oh God, man, that's hard to watch. That's hard. That's hard to watch. So, oh boy, where to begin? Where to begin? So we're going to dive into we're going to jump right into the thread that was covering this particular video, because I feel like they're gonna touch a lot of the points that I would bring up anyway. So we're gonna transition back to the regular format, and then we're gonna go through the thread of the day, which is pertaining to this particular video. And because all the points that are brought up in the thread of the day are most of the things that I would bring up anyway. So let's go ahead and magically transition into that now.
What?
Goddamn. That ain't smooth. Okay, we are back to the regular format. And now we're going to do the thread of the day, which is pertaining to the video that I just critiqued. So let's get right into it. So in the OP, it says, just go up and talk to her, bro. This happens. So obviously he's referring to how a lot of guys will try to convince you that there's no consequence or issue with approaching young women, right? And even with this video, it's not like anything really bad happened to him, but what stands out is how uncomfortable it made her, you know. And I'm sure a lot of people would say, well, he was creepy, he was this and that, but now watching the video again, he really wasn't like a super creep or nothing. He wasn't like Anthony Perkins from Psycho or some shit. I mean, it was a relatively normal approach and banter leading up to asking her out, basically by asking for the Instagram. Now I think that he stuck around a little bit too long. I think now I would have known better way before, but at the very least he should have known to call it quits when he asked for her Instagram and she said no. If you get that, it's not gonna happen because you basically asked for her number and you gotta know. But yeah, let's look at some of the posts under it. So this guy says, yeah, why can't she just tell him she doesn't care instead of recording and lying to him? And then the guy under him says, I hate these people saying she's clearly uncomfortable. I don't see it. She's not making much expressions at all. Now, I do see it. You can see the discomfort, but you got to keep in mind she's at work, so she can't sit there and completely contort her face in disgust at this young man. You know, she has to still be professional. But even underneath that layer of professionalism, you can see that she's uncomfortable. Well, at least I can see it. I can see it pretty clearly that she's quite uncomfortable. Hold on, let me put these headphones up. Still have these big ass headphones on. No, I can't drink this bullshit. Okay. So this guy says his crime was being ugly. It was already over before he opened his mouth. And I think there's a lot of truth to that. I think that the way people respond to you when you ask them out, a lot of it has to do with their first impression of you. And their first impression of you is going to have a lot to do with how you look. So it was over before it even began, just like he said. If she found him to be more attractive, her response would have been way different. I'm willing to bet that. But I'm sure more people are going to call it out later in these posts. So I'm not going to go too hard on that just yet. And then this guy says, an A9 already warned to only approach super attractive women or else you might end up talking to a cunt. This is one of those cases. Take it as an example and don't be discouraged. This girl is a 5'10", maybe a 6 if she put on heavy makeup. I would agree she's around a 5 or a 6, and that's again, I'm not trying to take shots at her. We're just trying to be real about the attractiveness scale here. Even a 5 or a 6 is very valuable on today in today's dating market. You know, a six, bruh. If I could get a 6, boy. So I'm not trying to I'm not trying to demean her by saying she's just a 5 or a 6. A 5 or a 6 has a lot of value nowadays. So that's in no means an insult. But what's interesting is, I don't know who this guy was, but they're talking about someone who was telling them, only approach super attractive women or you might end up talking to a cunt. I wonder how true that is. Is it better to go for the 8s, 9s, and 10s than the 5s, 6s, and 7s? Like, is it better, because there's always been this belief that more attractive women get hit on less because they intimidate more men, and less attractive women get hit on more because they're not as intimidating. Guys think they have a chance. Like I know the other day I was in my front yard hanging out with my friend early in the morning because this girl had kicked him out or some shit, and we were just talking, and the mail truck comes early, and it was like some fat girl with a package for me, and I'm looking at this fat chick. I'm like, yo, she kind of she fat, but she kind of fat, thick, and in all the right places. I was thinking bro, I could have tried to talk to her, but I felt that confidence because she was fat, right? That's why I felt that confidence. If she was more attractive, I wouldn't have felt that confidence to think like that. I would have been like, oh, she's out of my league. But since she was fat, I was like, I might have a chance. I was on day 38 of no fat. That's why I was eyeing fat chicks. But yeah, I just wonder, is there really some truth to that though? Are more attractive women going to be more polite as far as dealing with guys who approach them? And then this guy says, clearly disinterested in the conversation conveyed both in her facial gestures, tone, and body language. Matter of fact, talking. LOL, she's not making much expressions at all. I'm autistic as shit, and even I thought this was cringy. Yeah, he caught it. You can definitely see the subtle signs that he's making her uncomfortable. And that's not to say that he was doing anything necessarily wrong. It's just that, this is just the nature of the beast when you're talking about approaching women, because a lot of them, it happens so much to where it becomes it becomes an issue of annoyance. It becomes something that's annoying to them. They see it coming, they know it's coming, they try to avoid it, and then here you are, taking up more of their time and their energy when they're trying to focus on something else. So it becomes an annoyance to them. So let's move forward. Let's go deeper into this thread. So this guy says, because women want attention, they want to have the power of rejecting any man and fucking Chad only. Islam is 100% right about women and is proven to be right year after year again. Make women cover up. It's actually ingenious what the Taliban do. They cover up the women, which basically destroys their one advantage in which they use to manipulate people. I think he was replying to someone who was talking about like how she had her breast like a tight shirt with the breast like poking out, and I don't know like how much of that was like intentional, but this guy is implying that she had her breast all perked up for attention. But I like what he says here. They want to have the power of rejecting any man and fucking Chad only, which is true. I know women enjoy being in that position of being pursued. They really enjoy that, of being able to say no, yes, no, yes, no. Well, I put too many yes. Well, I don't know now. It depends. No, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Right? Oh God. But then he goes on, Islam is 100% right about women and are proving me right yet. Yeah, I don't know about that. But I do think he has a point as far as like, when you cover up women, it does destroy one of the advantages that they use to manipulate people, because a lot of women, they like, I see girls who have fat asses, like really fat asses, and they dress in such a way to show it off. They wear the tightest jeans, they wear the tightest tights, booty shorts. They dress in such a way to show off their curves, and it's a lot of it is for attention, and I don't know whether it's consciously or subconsciously, they're trying to attract Chads. They're trying to attract high value men. They're trying to attract the alpha male so they can, get fucked, reproduce, and all that shit. Whether it's conscious or unconscious, that's what girls do. So this guy says, my parents met through friends. I met my wife through social events and hanging out. It's literally mentally retarded to try to attack random girls who are working. Now, I think he's obviously exaggerating here. Attack random girls who are working, but he does make a good point as far as like how people typically meet their significant others. I believe, I've always said this, I don't think most people do this whole code approach thing. Most people, they end up getting with the people they know from school, that they hang out with in their personal lives. Like, oh, I'm about to go kick it with Bobby. I go to Bobby's house. John is also there, and John invited two girls. That's how I met Samantha. Now, like that's how a lot of people find girlfriends and get laid, hanging out with the people in their social circles. And then, it depending on the kind of social circle you have, girls might more or less be a part of it, and then they'll give you an opportunity to meet women. And I was just talking about that cashier girl who had hit on me all those years ago. I think the only reason she was comfortable even talking to me like that was because she knew someone that I knew, right? Because my friend worked in there with her. And when she saw me for the first time, she saw me talking to him, who was already trying to talk to her, right? And so that gave me social proof to where she felt comfortable. That's what I think. I think that she saw me hanging with him and hanging with other guys who were hanging with him, and I think that gave me the look of social proof and made her feel comfortable even talking to me like that, you know. And really, a lot of people, when they do meet a girlfriend or a wife or a hookup, it's gonna be somebody at work, at school, or somebody that you just kick it with. Most people don't do this whole code approach shit. So this guy says, a lot of retards think this guy is being creepy, but the reality is she had made up her mind before he even started talking. Notice how she really shouts "what" at him while looking away like she doesn't care. She literally didn't give this presumably ugly guy a chance, which is true. I think his only mistake was beating around the bush too much. If I was going to approach a young lady, my philosophy or my mindset would be to make it quick. Like, just go ahead, let it be known what you want, and go ahead and get a yes or no, right? Because I remember I was thinking back to now this was another cashier girl that I had known a while back, and she wasn't as direct as the other one, but I did get the sense that she was trying to get my attention. It was just that, like, she was much more attractive than the other one. So I was like, in my head, like, oh, she definitely doesn't like me. But I was thinking back to a moment where I was in the store and she kind of came out of nowhere, and it just seemed like she positioned herself like in the same area that I was in. And I got the sense that she was trying to like position herself so I could talk to her, but of course I didn't. But I was thinking back to that moment, and I was like, how would I have approached her if I decided to? And so I'm thinking about it, like I'm going through all these different like possibilities, and I noticed like fuck that shit, bro. Like when I think about it like that, it makes me just not want to do it, because I don't feel like I'm really being myself anymore. Like I'm trying to figure out the best possible way to like what to say. And no, when I said, you know what, I would just go up and say, hey, I know you're busy, but I think you're cute, and I was wondering if I could get your phone number. Boom. If that's it. That's it. And then get the yes or no and keep it moving. Right now, don't get me wrong. I think if you try to move things along too quick, that might hurt too, because you know, it's, I guess you could look at it as like two extremes. Like what I just described, like what I would do is the extreme in terms of like just going for it, right? And yes or no, keep it moving. And with the guy in the video, he's the other extreme of like, okay, I'm gonna talk to her, ask her all these different questions. How old are you? What school you go to? What color is your dog? like really just going the extra mile trying to build up to asking her out. And I think both of these strategies have a downside, right? Like if you do it my way, then you might be moving so fast that even if she thought you were cute, she wouldn't be comfortable giving you her number or something, because she hasn't had the time to properly assess your energy and to feel safe doing something like that. On the other hand, when you do it the way that guy was doing it in the video, you end up wasting a lot of time if it turns out that she ultimately doesn't like you, and the longer you're drawing it out, the more you're making her uncomfortable, right? So maybe you could be more balanced and strike somewhere in the middle. But I know me, I would only be comfortable doing it like that, where it's like, hey, I know you're busy, but I just want to let you know I think you're cute, and I was wondering if I could get your phone number. No hard feelings. If not, then boom, just whatever happens, right? That's how I would do it if I was to do something like that. Because just like what this guy is saying, and this is my point, she made her mind up before he even started talking. And what you have to realize is, like, the same way when you see a girl and if you would like fuck her or date her within like the first full body scan, like you see her full like 180 from front to back, up, down, and around, and you see, okay, I like what I see, or she too fat, or this or that, she look like a man in the face, whatever, right? It doesn't take long to figure out whether or not you would have sex with someone, as long as you get a good view of them, right? Because I know, like, sometimes I might see a woman from behind and she got like a nice little butt, but then you look at her face and you realize she's like 45 or some shit like that. So again, but given under the circumstances where she's had a good look at you, I would say more than likely it's not much you can do beyond the first 30 seconds of interacting with them to convince her otherwise. If she saw you and within the first 30 seconds felt like, I would not have sex with this man, I would not give him my number, more than likely there's nothing you can say that's going to change that. On the flip, if she saw you and thought, okay, I would have sex with him, I would, yada yada, then you at least have a chance. Now, even then, she could have a boyfriend or whatnot, or she's just not that type of girl to just be giving out her information like that. But again, he made an excellent point. Her mind was already made up, and that's why I believe it's really pointless to try to draw things out like that. I think it's much better to just be direct, because more than likely, if you had any chance to get her number, then it's not what you do within 3 minutes that's going to make the difference, or 5 minutes. It's what you do within the first 30 seconds. It's the way you look and what she feels when you speak to her, your energy, right? Where she perceives you as being someone who's socially competent, someone who's confident, someone who's mature, someone who has a positive energy about them, and as well as the way you look. And all of those things can be processed within the first 30 seconds of meeting someone. Now, of course, you could be like a Ted Bundy serial killer type on the low, but I'm just saying, like, that surface energy that people feel from you, and as well as the way you look, that's what's going to determine more than anything, not the 3 to 5 minute conversation. So this person says, society shouldn't be so fucked that you are viewed as a creep for talking to the opposite sex. This only proves that boomers had the golden age, and society today, including the thinking of women, is too far gone. It's destroyed, and progress can no longer be made until we revert. Society shouldn't be like this. Hold up, let me get a sip of this this mango Hawaiian punch. Oh, it's disgusting. Oh, okay. But I absolutely agree with what he said. Society shouldn't be so fucked that you are viewed as a creep for talking to the opposite sex. But that's where we are, And I just think it's a shame, because the fact is, somebody has to make the first move. Somebody has to put themselves out there. Somebody has to take the risk. And I think more and more as we move forward, it seems like both men and women are becoming like less and less willing to put themselves out there. And not because they're being unreasonable, but for good reason. And you look at stuff like this and how this young man is perceived for his failure to attract this woman. Now look, I know a lot of people gonna try to like just drag him through the mud, under the bus, and across the flames, right? But look at it like this. Now, what if she would have responded positively to his approach, right? Let's just say, like, for whatever reason, she was still recording, but he managed to woo her properly and got her number, and she was smiling and excited. It would have been a cute. Think about that. He's doing the same thing, but she's attracted to him. She's excited. She's engaging with him, right? And she puts it on TikTok. Oh, this cute boy talked to me. I can't believe it. Oh, it changes the whole scenario, the whole perception of this scenario. It goes from never talk to cashiers to, oh, look at this sweet moment where this guy approached this girl he was attracted to and she liked him, and now they're a cute couple. Like, you look at it totally different depending on the outcome. And I think that's what's unfortunate about this whole approaching women thing, is like the way you're perceived, like you're not perceived by your effort to put yourself out there. You're perceived by the outcome. So him trying and failing just makes him look even worse. Now, I will admit there's an argument to be said about reading social cues and, okay, being able to determine like she's obviously not interested, right? But that's a different argument right there. And even that can be like vague, because you even hear girls say sometimes like, oh, he didn't try hard enough, right? You hear girls say like, don't give up just because I say no. Like, some girls be on some weird shit like that. And so what are guys supposed to think, right? But I think that it is very unfortunate really where we are when guys could be shamed for doing stuff like this, you know, just because they weren't able to execute it perfectly, right, and abort at the right moment and say the right things and whatnot. It's unfortunate. And this is just another reason why I just don't approach women, bruh, because a lot of women, they don't respect the game. They don't respect this shit. They don't respect the game, bruh. That, like for her to record it and put it out like that. And she's not the only one who has done she's not the only one who's done, like, girls do shit like this. And if they're not recording it, they'll talk about it like, he said, that boy tried to talk to me. Like, I could go talk to somebody or try to talk to a girl, get rejected, and then she'll go back to her friends. I can't believe, he tried to talk. Like, girls be like that. They be on some shit like that. Like, you not respecting the game when you do shit like that. Like, you trying to shame somebody for seeing someone they're attracted to and then trying to talk to them. Like, how the fuck are people somebody's got to make that move. Somebody's got to do it. And so I think because of that, there should be a mutual respect for the game. You know, I've been hit on by gay dudes before, right? And I mean, let me tell you, talk about pushy. Goddamn, like. And I was just talking about this one last night where, like, a guy was like, he pulled up in front of me in his car, and mind you, it's like traffic and shit, and he trying to, like, this gay dude trying to spit game to me out from inside the car and shit. I'm like, dude, like, you gotta go, it's traffic. Like I'm flattered, but go. I don't roll like that. But even saying that, like, I don't have any ill will for the guys who did that shit or the girls. Like, I've been hit on by dudes. I've been hit on by ugly gorilla looking bitches, but I don't feel any ill will towards them because it's just part of the game. Somebody got to put themselves out there, right? I mean, things just like this whole dating market just doesn't work unless someone's willing to put their neck out there. So I have respect for it, and I can remember another time when I was at the park, this gay Mexican dude was trying to talk to me. And, I could have been rude and giving him like one word answers and shit. But no, I engaged. Like I knew what it was leading to, right? Just like she knew, but I handled it differently. I completely engaged with this guy, like had a whole conversation about Trump. Cause he was Mexican. I think he was an illegal too. I'm not sure, but I had a whole conversation with the dude, and when he tried to shift it towards butt fucking, I had to let him know. He wasn't that explicit, but it was like, oh, I like men. Do you have a girlfriend? And all, stuff like that. I was like, yeah, I got a girl. Lying my ass. Now I did lie. I did lie about having a girl just to kind of, push the issue that it ain't happening. But I engaged with him like human to human. Like, okay, this a gay dude trying to talk to me, but whatever. All right, I'll talk to the nigga. Let's have a conversation, because once he crosses that line, I'm gonna just shoot him down. Right? I got no problem with it, but I'm not gonna sit there and just again try to be passive aggressive about the shit. Because again, I respect the game. That's what I respect the shit. I respect somebody got to do it. So one day I might want to approach somebody. I might want to approach a young lady. So I'm not about to shame or treat someone poorly because they chose to approach me. I'm going to be respectful. I'm going to engage at least as much as I can, because I might be just like the one dude in the car. Like I'm coming back from uptown trying to go home and shit. So I was rushing that, but still, I'm being respectful. I'm engaging human to human. It's just that no, I ain't fucking you. And that's all I'm saying, bro. It's like, I just feel like one of the main reasons why I don't do this whole approaching shit is because I know girls don't respect the game. They don't respect it. They want the benefit from it, but they don't respect it. And before I move on, just one more thing. I can be somewhat empathetic to them because, I talk about the times I've been hit on by people I wasn't interested in, but really it was very few, those were very few instances where that happened. It's not something that happens every day or every week or every month even. But when you're talking about a young lady that's a 5 or a 6 or a 7 or 8, they deal with stuff like this on the regular. Like part of their routine is trying to figure out how to get guys to stay the fuck away from them, not giving guys undue attention so they don't even think they have a chance, so they don't even think the girl is interested. That's why when you look up what kind of choosing signals girls would give guys to let them know they're attracted, it's always subtle things, right? Like eye contact, positioning themselves around you, making small talk, laughing at your jokes, touching your arm. It's all subtle things. And the reason why these can be good indicators of interest is because you got to remember, women don't want to be approached by guys that they don't like. They don't like just being endlessly approached by dusty ass lame dudes. So when it comes to the guys that they don't like, they're more likely to be so cold towards them. They're not going to give you any eye contact. They're not going to position themselves around you as much as they can. They're not going to talk to you. They're not going to touch you and shit like that. That's why if a girl is doing these things, they might seem like subtle nothings, but in reality, it's actually a lot for her, because when it comes to the guys that she doesn't like, it's complete radio silence. So this guy says, I would not allow comments that excuse harassment or victim blame. So I'm guessing this comes from the detail section of the video. Saying stuff like, why didn't she just say no, is ignorant and shows none of you actually listen to the victims. Because if you did, you would know how scary it is to be in that situation, because men tend to turn violent when rejected. Incel comments can fuck off. And then he says to that, LOL, what happened to female empowerment? Teach women to say fuck off. And so within the thread, I saw a lot of people bringing that up as well. Like, why wasn't she more direct, right? Why didn't she just say fuck off? And here's what I think. So one thing we know, and I always say this, a lot of women, they don't like to be held accountable. They don't like to take risk. And so the thing is, here's the problem with expecting her to be direct and upfront, right? Now, of course, she knows what it is. The writing is on the wall. This guy is building himself up to ask her out. All these little questions are all just lead-ins to eventually make his move. She knows that from the very beginning. So why doesn't she just shut shit down? Because she knows it, but she doesn't know it. She knows it, but she doesn't know it. Now, if she were to cut him off and just say, no, I don't want to fuck you, he could say, wait, what? I wasn't asking you out anyway. I'm just having small talk. Right? Now, we would all assume that that's bullshit, but until he straight up asks her out, he has plausible deniability. So for her to even jump up and imply that he's asking her out before he directly asks her out, she's sticking her neck out. And I think that's one of the reasons why girls don't do shit like that. They know it's coming, but they're going to wait until it comes. Because if they try to cut you off early, then that gives you a small bit of leverage in terms of being able to flip the script on them. You can say, wait, what? Like, I saw this one video. God, oh man. I saw this one video. I gotta find that shit. That shit funny. But it was this guy at a gas station. And I think he was recording because he approached the girl at the gas station and he was asking her, like, I think he asked her, like, where was a beauty salon or something like that. Like, he was asking, like something about, like trying to find a hair place or something. And she took that as him trying to ask her out. And so she had shot him down. And then they got into an argument because he was trying to tell her, like, I won't try to talk to your ass. Like, y'all girls always think niggas trying to talk to you and shit like that. And it was a whole argument. And I think she ended up like spraying herself in the face with mace. That's a crazy video. I got to find it again. But that's it. That's a prime example of what I'm talking about. Now, was he trying to ask her out? Was he genuinely just trying to ask her a simple question of directions? Who knows? But he was able to flip it on her because she jumped to the conclusion that he was asking her out. And like I said, a lot of women don't want to take risks or be accountable. And to do that requires risk and accountability. And the other side of it, and I think this is definitely an exaggeration, right? But it does happen. But just like it says, you know, if you did, you would know how scary it is to be in that situation because men tend to turn violent when rejected. Now, I think that's an exaggeration. I think most guys aren't going to just knock your teeth out because you reject him, right? And I was definitely more often than not, you reject the guy, he'll just move on. At most of the time, the worst thing that'll happen is he'll take it hard, he'll take it personally, and then he'll try to get into a verbal dispute with you. He'll try to get into like he'll start insulting you, like, you ugly ass fat bitch. I never liked you in the first place. I don't give a fuck. You think I give a fuck, man? I got money, man. Like, some dudes be on that, they can't take it and keep it moving. right? But most of the time, that's the worst that'll happen. Like, most rejections don't end in the guy knocking your fucking teeth out. You know, most of the issues that women have with men, and this is a statistical fact. This is a statistical fact. Speaking of incels, because I remember I had looked this up years ago, but it is a statistical fact, and I'm gonna have to find that shit again, because I forgot the exact numbers. But it's a fact that most of the men who do physical harm to women are boyfriends and family members and shit. It's the guys they know. It's not the strange incel asking them out that's knocking their goddamn teeth out, throwing acid on their face, beating them up, throwing them into TVs and shit. Like, I know maybe y'all saw that video where that NFL player had threw like his girlfriend into the wall and TV and shit. Who is that? Is that an incel? No, that's her baby daddy. That's the guy that she chose to be with, that she chose to open her legs for, right? So the reality is the most dangerous men to women are the ones that they pick for themselves. It's not the weird guy asking you out. It's not the autistic dude. It's gonna be the guy that you chose because of his underlying aggressive energy that your instinct tells you to reproduce. That's the biggest threat to a woman in terms of men. But I digress. So this guy says, she looks and acts just like my ex, LMAO. It's embarrassing that women like this exist. Tell him to fuck off and he will understand. Don't stand there and make snarky Disney faces like you aren't in the wrong, LMAO. He tried his best and you beat around the bush for 5 minutes. You can say you are busy or not even answer. I have went up to women before and have small conversation, and I have social cues so I know when to leave them alone. Being rejected isn't a big deal. It works for me most of the time, but this guy just seems desperate and she seems like a BPD cunt. Ignore this shit. But I basically explained in the previous post why women do what they do as far as like really, I wouldn't even say beating around the bush. He's more so beating around the bush than she is, because he's beating around the bush to get to the point of asking her out. She's just kind of standing there going along with it, waiting for him to ask her out, waiting for him to ask her out so he can. I'm getting these genders confused, man. Goddamn, trans movement. Nah, he hits her. But let me try to get it right this time. She was waiting for him to ask her out. Goddamn, I swear. That shit felt like a maze in my brain. But yeah, she was waiting for him to ask her out so she could reject him, right? But maybe I said it before, but I did mention, like, this is what I'm saying. Like, I feel like a lot of people took issue with the way that she handled it, but I really don't, because like I said, if you try to jump to the conclusion that he's asking you out, he can flip it on you, and girls don't want to go through that, right? And another thing is this too. Now, obviously, I don't know this guy personally who made this particular post, but you know, a lot of guys are of this mindset of it's a man's job to approach the woman. You do the masculine approach and blah, 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 blah. The masculine and the feminine. She's too feminine to make the approach. You gotta man up, grab your balls. Like, you know, a lot of guys be on that shit, right? And my thing is just this, like, how can you believe something like that, but then you don't understand why a woman wouldn't be direct as far as calling you out for trying to build up to ask her out, right? Like, if you believe in this whole women are too feminine to lift a finger to approach a man or anything, why would you think they would do something like that. I mean, this is right in line with what is described as being feminine nature, being passive or passive aggressive, not taking charge, not being direct, not taking the lead. And my belief is that it's not that women are incapable. I just think that they have an inclination not to, because it benefits them most of the time. Like, even in this situation, it's easier for her to let him tie the rope around his own neck and then to push him off, then to tie it around for him, like to get the rope tied around his neck and put him on a chair, right? It's easier to just let him walk himself off of the chair, because she knows where this is headed to, and she knows that all it's going to take is a simple rejection to shut it down, right? That's why, again, you got to understand, the position that she's in, right? She's in a power position. All he can do is beat around she knows what's about to happen, right? She knows. So she has no reason to really go out of her way to try to shut the shit down, because she knows it's coming. Let me just ride it out, and once he tries, I'm gonna shut him down. Boom. No risk, no nothing. Just go ahead and just let him walk himself off the chair. So I understand why she would do it. I understand why she would do it that way. Even going back to talking about when that gay dude that Mexican gay dude that hit on me at the park, I knew where it was going, but I didn't just say, oh, wait, nigga, I ain't gay. Right? I just rolled along with the conversation. The only difference was that I wasn't upset by it. I knew what it was. I knew where it was going, but I was like, man, you know what? I'll just talk to this dude, and when he tries to shoot his shot, I'll shut it down, and then I'll keep it moving, right? But that's the only difference there is, like, I just went, I'll roll with you. I'll have the little stupid conversation and shit like that, but because I know that if you try to talk to me and I don't like you, I'm gonna just shut it down right then and there, But knowing that you're trying to talk to me, that's not gonna make me upset to the point where I'm not going to, engage in casual conversation with you. I'll entertain you, shit. And look, maybe you're not trying to hit on me, just maybe. I think you are, but maybe it really is just a casual conversation, So I'll just roll with it. But yeah, I just feel like people were really riding her a bit too hard. I think, like to call her a BPD cunt. I don't see any of that. Like, really, this is like normal female behavior, if you ask me. So this guy says, I met my girlfriend in public. My opening line was yelling, do you have a boyfriend? LMAO. She said no, and we dated. And then the guy under him says, you guys are actually retarded. Dude was obviously in the wrong. Have fun being a virgin forever. The rest of us are laughing at you. So let's address the first guy. So what he's saying is in line with what I said earlier. Look at what he said. My opening line was, do you have a boyfriend? And she said no. And we did, boom, right there. Now, who knows how many times he got rejected before that. But the fact is, like I said, it doesn't take long for a girl to assess whether or not she would date you or have sex with you. And so that's why this is just a good example of how that works. All he had to do was be direct. Do you have a boyfriend? No. And then you go from there. Boom. It's that simple. It's like, just get right to the meat of it. I think it's easier that way. I think it's less stressful. There's less time wasted. It's less of an energy expenditure when you just be direct, because more than likely you're not going to be able to. More than likely, like I said before, man, what you do in the first 30 seconds and the impact that you make within the first 30 seconds is worth so much more than anything you can do in 3 to 5 minutes. That first 30 seconds is the most important. Everything else is really just buffer. It's extra, but it's that first 30 seconds that matter the most. So then this dude said, you guys are actually retarded. Dude was obviously in the wrong. Have fun being a virgin forever. The rest of us are laughing at you. Well, the second half might really be true in my case, but you know, looking at it again, and I think I said this before, but even with him, I don't really see it as being a big deal. Like his approach, his method of trying to like ease into asking her out. I don't see it like he committed some grave crime either. I mean, you can make the argument that he should have picked up on the social cues earlier and known to abort mission earlier, but that's not like some huge crime. That's not something where it's like, okay, throw him in jail, right? Or let's just shame and destroy this guy's life. Like, it's not a big deal. Okay, so he beat around the bush a bit. He tried a little bit too hard. It's not a big. It's really. And maybe my age is showing here, but when I look at this, I just see like two normal young people. You have the low value male trying to approach and talk to the high value female, because like I said, fives and sixes are high value nowadays. Like it's just the truth. And so what we're seeing is just the average low value man trying to shoot his shot at a high value 5 or 6, you know. But that begs the question though, if a 5 or a 6 is high value, what the hell is an 8, 9, or 10? Like I guess you could say they're like goddesses. And I don't mean that literally to like pedestalize them or anything, but like it's levels to this shit. And even a 6 is high value to a man nowadays. So what the hell is a 9 or a 10 or 8? Damn, like, man. But that's a whole different conversation. So okay, this is like 4 posts in one. Okay. So this guy says he didn't explicitly say he's interested either though. She should have ignored him or just faked a phone call. His shitty fake small talk and personal questions don't deserve a discussion. Now that makes me wonder, like how should she have handled that situation differently? In fact, let's look at it like from both perspectives. Now, you know, with the guy, I would say that he should have just been more direct. He should just been like, oh, hey, you're cute. Can I get your phone number? No. All right. Bye. Right. That's my philosophy on that. But with the girl, like, what could the girl have done differently? So let me just think about it a little bit. I got it. Now, there's a way to be direct without being too direct. Because I thought about this before. Like, just for example, or rather a hypothetical, if I had a female friend that I was attracted to, and I felt like, okay, she might be attracted to me, and let's say we're just hanging out, right? And I'm trying to escalate things. How would I do it? What I would do is I would say, hey, do you like me? Like, just straight up. Like, I would be just direct. Hey, do you like me? Like you have, like me in a sexual, romantic kind of way. Like, that's what I would do. And then if it's a no, okay, well, okay, that's what it is. If it's a yes, then, we'll, go from there. But when you ask questions like that, it's a way to be direct without being like too direct. And so what I'm saying is, what she could have done is she could have said, are you trying to ask me out? Like you have to put it on them to tell you what they're doing so you can get it out the way. You know, you don't have to be a bitch about it, and you don't have to be like super duper direct. I mean, that's very direct, but it's like you're not coming to a conclusion. Like it's like you're implying it, but you're also letting it be known that I'm not sure, right? So it's like, do you? Are you? Can you? It's like you're asking them. You're not telling them like no, I don't like you. I don't want to talk to you. Instead, you say, are you asking me out? Yeah. Oh, no, I'm not interested. Boom. I think that's probably the best way she could have dealt with it, you know. Even like the way she did it, she was like, you know, she just kind of passively took it and just rolled with it. But, and even that, again, I'm not going to act like it was some big crime that she handled it that way, right? But I think that it would, another way of handling it, in fact, a better way of handling it would have been to just ask him, are you trying, like if you get that feeling like, okay, this person is trying to ask me out, and I don't want this thing to get drawn out. I don't want this thing to like linger on and have this fake ass conversation with this person. Let me be direct and just ask them, are you trying to ask me out? Because if you are, no. Right. But just make sure you get the answer for them. Make sure you get the answer from them first. Because again, if you jump to the conclusion, they can flip it on you, right? And even that's not a big deal, but if that's what you're concerned about, then just ask them, you know, because like I said, if I knew a girl and I felt like she might like me, I would ask her, do you like me? And at that point, she has to be direct with me. And then we can just get that situation settled right then and there. And so I think that would have been a better way for her to handle it if that experience really made her that uncomfortable. And I think this way of doing things is helpful, not just to women, but guys as well. You know, because I do think people need to be more direct with each other. You know, I mean, it's one thing if it's not a big deal for you to, like, you know, to have these. It's one thing if it's not a big deal for you to, you know, deal with these kind of pointless conversations from people trying to talk to you and shit like that. But if it's really bothering you, if it's really a concern, then you need to be more direct. Then you need to, again, you don't have to be a bitch about it. You don't have to be overly direct. But if you just ask a simple question, then you can speed the process up. You can get all the bullshit out the way. Like, oh, wait. Are you trying to ask me out? Let them answer. Because from there, you can only get a yes or a no. See, that's how you speed shit up. And that's the point. Just speed it up. Are you asking me out? Do you like me? Do you want to have sex with me? That's how you speed shit up, because so many people won't be direct, and you got to force them into a situation where they're going to be direct. And the best way to do that is to ask the right questions. And so my advice to any young lady who goes through shit like this is that that's a very easy way for you to speed up the process of these guys trying to talk to you. Like, just cut them off real quick. Are you trying to ask me out? If you feel, because again, she knew it. She knew it before he did it. Sometimes you just know. And if you get that feeling, then instead of letting it just play out, again, that's if it's gonna make you uncomfortable like that, then be direct. Like, whoa, you trying to ask me out? Because if so, no. Right? Okay, I'm gonna skip the 2 posts in the middle. I don't think I really grabbed it for those. I think it was the one underneath it. So he says she's a bitch for recording that interaction, and the dude is a fucking retard for missing the social cues indicating this interest. Both parties are retarded. They are really perfect for each other. Any non-retard would assume she is interested within the first 10 seconds. So again, at least as far as the guy is concerned, you know, I do agree with it as far as like he definitely did not read her body language correctly. Because if he did, he would have known early on that she was not interested and that he was annoying her. But again, to say both parties are retarded, I just think it's an exaggeration. It's not that big. It's just not that big of a deal. It's really it's not even that serious. I think the worst thing about it was her recording it. That's the worst thing about it. The fact that she recorded it and put it out there like that, that's the worst thing about this whole situation, you know, because you could talk about his social skills, but you know, some people, and especially to say something like that on R9K, where a lot of us struggle with developing our social skills, to say something like that. I mean, this is just something that people struggle with. You know, not everybody is keen on the nuances of verbal tone and facial gestures and body language to the point where they know what someone is thinking or feeling without them directly expressing it through their words, through communication, verbal communication. You know, that's an art in of itself. You know, so I'm not gonna throw this guy under the bus because his social skills weren't up to par to determine that she was not interested before he even, you know, went into trying to ask her out. And again, it's just not a big deal to me. You know, it's just, you know, this is just puppy love shit, or rather, you know, puppy trying to love shit. But I do think that her recording it, that's really the only thing I take issue with. That's the only thing I take issue with, because it wasn't even that serious, bro. It wasn't even like her life was in danger as far as she knew. I mean, he could have been Ted Bundy 2.0 for all she knew, but still, I think to put it out there like that, it wasn't that big of a deal. Like he just, you know, he was just trying to woo her and get to know her so he could ask her out. That's it. It wasn't a big deal. So this guy says, girl is giving short one-word answers, not smiling at all, crossing her arms to cover her tits several times, is making no attempt to engage. The guy is clearly being a pushy dickhead. You know, I've been browsing R9K for about 11 years, and in that time I've grown up and gotten married, bought a house, and successfully helped one A9 get his shit together, who is now my best friend. And I met my wife here, married her, and brought her over to my home country. Please tell me when you watch this video you're learning, not seething. He makes good points, but I'm tired of people exaggerating this shit. The guy, like, to say he's being a pushy dickhead. No, it's not that serious. I've seen guys be pushy dickheads. That's not it. He was trying too hard, right? He was trying a bit too hard, at least as far as like how someone like myself would have handled it. You know, like I might not try hard enough, but again, good points, but I just feel like everyone is just kind of exaggerating the seriousness of the situation and just blowing it out of proportion, like this dude like blew up at her or something, or was on some damn serial killer type shit. I mean, it's just it's such a normal interaction where if she was actually attracted to him and he did the exact same thing, you know, we wouldn't even be talking about it. He didn't really do anything out of the ordinary, other than not get the hint that she wasn't interested. That's his only crime. That's his only crime. So just seeing people exaggerate that shit is just kind of crazy to me. So this guy says, a few weeks ago, I complimented this cute girl working the pharmacy at a drugstore. Told her she had nice hair. I said it on my way out and didn't follow up with anything else. I don't think it was received poorly because she said thank you in a pleasant tone of voice, but I am glad I didn't follow through with anything else. The risk of embarrassment at being shot down, even in a polite way, is just too much. I suppose I am proud of myself for working up the courage to say anything at all to her, but I'm still disappointed that I don't have the courage to do more. I know I would never get a girlfriend if I don't try. So true. I can tell you all about that. But yeah, I think it's pretty normal to have a fear of rejection, you know, the embarrassment of being shot down, as he would say. And I think I probably talked about this a couple times, but you guys know I was in a mental hospital for like 2 weeks, and I remember I was so bored in there. Like all I did was try to hit on girls. Like, you know, like there were like other patients and shit, staff. I mean, I was pretty much hitting on every girl in there, like even the damn fat nurse lady. Like I was on it. Oh God, one of those nurses was like real cute, but she had a fiance, of course. But what that experience taught me though was that I am very capable of cold approach, warm approach, super approach. Like I'm telling you, dude, when I was in the mental hospital doing that shit, I didn't give one fuck. But and you know, I never knew I had that in me. I never knew that side of me existed, that I could be just so flirtatious. And like I remember there was this new girl that had showed up there, and she was new, so she had sat by herself, and so I sat beside her and I started talking to her. I found out like she did like a porn scene for like Bang Bros or something, and of course when I got out I looked it up. I will never be able to find it again, so don't ask. But yeah, man, like that's what I was on when I was in there though, bro. I didn't give one fuck. I was talking to every girl that I possibly could. And the thing was though, was that I was completely outcome independent. Like I did not care about the outcome. Talking to those women was not about trying to have sex. I was bored. There was nothing to do. What I realized was that when you take away all of my hobbies and my distractions and my purpose, I had no music. I ain't had no video games. I ain't had shit. It was boring as fuck in there. When you strip all that away, it's just Chad Marco, the man, the beast, you know, the horny monkey on a floating rock in space. And the most exciting thing in there were the girls. And again, I never knew I had it in me, but I was just talking to girls so much, and I had no fear. And I'm getting shot down left and right. I'm getting like pew, pew, right. But I didn't care because it wasn't about trying to have sex. It was about it was about alleviating the boredom and just trying to do something. But I think what it showed me was rejection really isn't that bad. A lot of it is your expectations and your environment. Because of course, once I got out, I never did that. I never did that again. I only did it like one time, and that was like close to after I got out, because I had to get rid of those bad habits. So I did say something to like some girl that was walking by one day, but it was just some like passing shit, like hey or something like that. But not long after I got out, I stopped doing that shit. It was just because once again I'm back in my comfort zone. I'm back in them damn streets with my music and my games and shit. So now, I'm not bored anymore. I'm enjoying my life again. But what it made me realize was like, rejection really isn't that bad. It's about your expectations and your environment. And see, the expectation side of it is that you have to be willing to take those no's. That's one thing. Like, and really, in a sense, you gotta not even care about getting a yes. I mean, you could care, but I'm just saying, like, my mindset that got me to the point of just doing it like crazy in a mental hospital was that I didn't care. It wasn't about getting yeses. It was about just not being bored, right? So I didn't care about getting rejected. And so what I'm saying is, if you could take that same mentality that I had in the mental hospital and take it to the streets, I mean, you'll be unstoppable, because I didn't give a fuck. But I think another thing is your environment too. Because the mental hospital was a whole new environment for me. So I'm not going to say like I reinvented myself, because I was only in there for like 2 weeks, but I felt more comfortable doing things that I normally wouldn't do, because I knew I wasn't going to be there long. And it's kind of like I see a lot of cute girls working at the stores around here, right? And I'll think like this, like, okay, I could ask her out, I could talk to her, and that wouldn't be an issue. But if I get rejected, then every time I go in there, I'm the guy that asks her out. Like that's the type of shit that really bothers me, right? Is that if you ask out a girl that you have to see on a regular basis, or a girl that knows people that or whatever, it could get to the point where she's telling everybody that you tried to talk to her, she rejected you, and now everybody knows. Like, every time I go in the store now, all the other employees know. Oh, that's that guy that tried to talk to her. Like, that's the type of shit that I think of. That's the type of shit that I think of, is like being that guy. And again, though, it goes back to not respecting the game, though. That's the problem. It's not me doing it being bad, but people are gonna look at it like, oh, this thirsty ass nigga trying to have sex. Like, that's just how people are. This thirsty ass nigga, how dare he be attracted to a member of the opposite sex? How dare he try to have sex? Like, that's really how people think. It's unfortunate, but that's how people think. And really, that's what concerns me more than anything. And I think that when I was in the mental hospital, part of what made me not care was that I was in a whole new environment that I wasn't going to be in for long. So I could just do whatever. I could be whoever I wanted. But out, back in my streets, shit, I go talk to a girl, get rejected. It could float all over the damn city. And then they don't tell her how that shit gonna come back at me. So this guy says, this world is so fucked. Like, really, Zoomers are degenerates, and modern clown world is seriously fucked up. You literally can't hit on women nowadays in real life without being called a creep, a rapist, a weirdo, or an incel is actually really sad. This world now is a fake shit. People with fake personalities only use Tinder or whatever with their fake bio and fake photos to get laid. I hope there would be a nuclear war or a zombie apocalypse or something. This shit must be stopped. Yeah, but this is similar to what the guy said earlier though. It's fucked up, man. It's fucked up because people just don't respect the game anymore. People just, if you try to shoot your shot and you miss, it's like people just like they try to shame you, they make fun of you. Like now you the dusty ass nigga that dared to have sex, that dared to talk to a female, that how dare you try. So many people look at it like that, bro, and it's a shame. Now obviously the obvious answer to that is just to not care what people is to not care what people would say. I mean, like for example, I'm about to start. Who calling at 12:54? That's weird. Somebody calling it. It's almost 1 a.m. Oh well, but what the fuck was I talking about? That shit totally took me out. Oh yeah, but I was thinking about how I'm about to be making music videos and shit, right? Now, the first video is just in my room, so I ain't really out there. But when I start doing videos like outside and around town, I'm not gonna lie. Like I've been thinking about like people seeing me doing videos and shit and like what they would think. But at the same time, it's like with me, it's no way I'm gonna let what other people think stop me from, doing what I want to do, pursuing my dreams and shit like that. But, I do think, because, some people, they be hating, like, how dare this dude try to make his some people just be silly like that. Now most people aren't, but some, I think most people would actually appreciate seeing somebody doing something creative. But I'm just saying, I just think about shit like that, because when you put yourself out there, that puts you in the public eye to be criticized and whatnot. And but the thing about me is that when it's something I really want to do, I don't care. I'm gonna do it regardless of what people think. And so what I'm saying is that you shouldn't let that get in the way of you shooting your shot or trying to get with girls. Like you kind of got to tune out the noise of what other people would say or think about you doing your thing, because that's what I'm gonna have to do as far as like my music, like being out in the city, doing different scenes, trying to make videos and shit. Like, because again, I'm the type, I just try to visualize potential problems I might run into and whatnot. And so inevitably, I just think about these sort of things. And one of the thoughts that crossed my mind is like, people seeing you doing your thing and being like, what the hell is he doing? And blah, blah, blah. But you got to tune that out. And the same way I would do that for my music, because that's what I'm passionate about. That's what I care about. You would have to do the same as far as trying to pursue women. But it is fucked up. It is fucked up how people think about shit. Okay, so I might end it here. This is a long one, but we got to touch it. This was a big one. Okay, so this guy says, so he's trying to help explain to guys like how to not be afraid of rejection and whatnot. So he says, a decent tactic for sure If you're unafraid of rejection, if you learn to get over the same embarrassment of sticking your neck out, my best bud struggled so much with that. So I met him in a pub after emailing him from a Maps thread. And further to our Discord conversation about women, I asked him, so is it that you hate women or you hate being rejected? He sipped his beer and then said, probably rejection. So I said, fine, watch and learn. Got up and we walked over to the bar. Then I got the attention of the barmaid and I said to her, hey, I think you're cute and I want to get to know you better. Have you ever been ice skating? See, that's good. See, that's direct. See, you see how he just boom, bow. No, she replies. So I say, want to learn? And she smiles and says, no thanks. Oh, I say mimicking a gunshot. The rejection, fuck it. 2 of the same, please. I boot my card and so I turn to my buddy and say, see, I didn't die, right? I could do this all night, but on average, 1 in every 10 women would give you their number. It's not PUA shit, it's simple probability. Oh, God. Don't get me wrong. This guy is giving some, like, this is solid advice here. But it's a reminder to me as well, like, why I don't do this shit. 1 in every 10. 1 in every 10 women would give you their number. And you gotta think, that's just the beginning. Like, that's not, a number really ain't much. Like, you don't even know this girl. Like, okay, she gave you a number. It could be a fake number. She could have a boyfriend. She can have several friends with benefits she's already dealing with. Not to mention her character, her lifestyle, her potential baggage. She can have kids. But out the gate, 1 out of 10. Think about that again, the time, energy, investment into that. That's why I can't do it. That's why I can't do it. I don't have, like, for me, it's not a fear of rejection because I know when I really want to do something like that is not going to get in my way. Just like what I was just talking about with the whole music video shit. You know, for me to do a lot of the ideas that I have, I'm gonna have to put myself out there. But there is no obstacle that's going to get in the way of me putting myself out there. I don't care if I look stupid. I don't care if people don't understand what the hell I'm doing. I'm going to do it because I want to do it. You know, so I have that understanding and that ability. Like the same mindset that he uses to approach women is the same mindset that I use to pursue my music goals, basically. Because both require you to put yourself out there. But the thing is, with girls, it's just that I don't want it bad enough to do all this shit. 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10. Oh, God. As for the fear of rejection, it's the same as your first time behind the wheel of a car. The more times you drive, the less afraid you are and the more in control you feel. So although intimidating, it's better to get used to it. And see, that's interesting because I'm just now learning how to drive, you know, and because somebody just asked me last night when I was talking about this, I think he said, like, do you have like, I think he asked if I have a fear of driving or something. And I was telling him, like, it's not a fear of driving because I know I can do it. I know that I'm capable of doing it. It's just that I don't have the experience of doing it. So I feel overwhelmed when I'm behind the wheel. And that's exactly what he's saying here. It's like the first time it's like your first time riding a car. It's intimidating, right? But if you have the right mindset and you keep trying, you know you're gonna get the hang of it. You know, and trying to get girls is very much the same. You know, you kind of gotta have that same mentality of expecting to be overwhelmed and intimidated. But if you persist, if you're determined and you keep pushing forward, then something might work for you. But again, just going back, using myself as an example, the reason why I don't do this shit in regards to women is because I don't want them bad. I don't want a girlfriend that bad to do all that shit. You know, learning how to drive, that's important to me. Getting a girlfriend isn't. Having sex isn't. So I'm not willing to do what it takes. So for me, it's not a fear of rejection. It's more so knowing that I don't want to go through all the shit necessary to get something that I don't really want that bad in the first place. Then he says, women aren't monsters. They can't hurt you by saying words. That's you hurting you, understand? He kind of got it, and by the end of the night, he nervously, shakily asked out a girl, and lo, he was politely rejected, and he comes back to our table, smiles, and says, yeah, I ate shit, but you're right, it doesn't even hurt. Why the fuck have I been so scared of this for so long? Because anons, the fear hurts worse than the rejection, because as soon as the word no escapes their lips, their value to you hits zero, and their opinion of you becomes worthless. Now, I disagree with that last part. I think to say that rejection has no effect whatsoever, I think now that's wrong. Because you can read a lot of different stories and accounts of guys who tried to put themselves out there like that and faced so much rejection that it took a toll on their self-esteem and their ego. Because the fact is this, bruh. It doesn't matter how persistent and determined you are, how positive you are. At some point, you are going to need results to believe in yourself. It's kind of like with Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry is confident in his ability to shoot the basketball and to hit like those long range threes. Does he hit all of them? No. Does he have bad shooting nights where he goes 3 for 13 or 2 for 10, 5 for 20? Sure. But he has enough success after those failures to keep his self-esteem and his self-belief high enough. But if he has a whole season where he just sucked, his self-esteem is going to take a hit. His belief in himself is going to be reduced. It's only natural. You can be as determined and positive as you want to be, but we still need results. We still need results. Even with me and making music, you know, sometimes I be wondering like, damn, like, can I still make a beat that dope or a song that hot? You know, and I try it, I do it. And when I pull it off, it refreshes my confidence. Like, yeah, I still got it. I still got this shit, you know. But if I make like 10 songs and don't like any of them, then I'm going to start losing confidence in myself as far as like my ability to make good music, you know. And so you still need results. So I think to undermine the effects of rejection is kind of silly. And so he goes on to say here, well, yeah, going back to my car analogy, it's like buckling up and then driving the car straight into a wall. Does it suck? Yeah, sure it does. But are you still alive? Yes, just a little shook up and frightened. You probably don't want to do that. You're probably worse than a little shook up. Now, imagine you do that. Oh, excuse me. Oh, man. That was bad. Now, imagine you do that 10 times a day, every single fucking day for weeks. Do you think you'd be as scared as the first time by the end of it? No way. When I was a teenager, I was a cheeky little shit and unafraid to be weird. I had a bit of a reputation, but in spite of that, I somehow got the balls to ask out one of the most beautiful girls in my high school, and I was publicly rejected for it. She loudly said, fucking ew, did you really ask me out? Hey, nah, just ask me out. I told you, bruh, girls don't respect the game. They don't respect the game. And then they'll complain when guys don't want to ask them out. When the guys they like, don't want to talk to them. To save face, I quickly warbled out worth a shot and stumbled away. I remember the shame and embarrassment of my first rejection. To use my analogy from before, that would be like hopping into your learner car and then hitting the wall fucking warp speed. I put way too much stock in the opinions of a girl who in retrospect should have meant nothing to me. But we learn. And honestly, that rejection probably helped more than it hindered. It's hard to get hung up on touching a stinging nettle every now and again when you know what it feels like to be punched in the anus. Okay, do I think back on that memory and cringe? Sometimes, sure, but I got a lot out of it, and it taught me some very valuable lessons that I've been able to use to spare my buddy the same pain. When I think about it like that, it comes out to a net gain and I feel fine. Fucking my wife also helps. LOL. Okay. I mean, overall, this guy, he's giving good advice that could be applied to a lot of different things. Because as far as, trying to get good at anything, it requires a certain degree of persistence and effort, but also an acceptance that, early on is going to be rough. Like if you first step into a boxing gym, you're going to get your ass whooped. It's kind of like with Tommy Hearns. I've heard like stories about him when he first walked into the Kronk gym. Emmanuel Stewart said that he wasn't very talented, but he was just so unbelievably determined to get better and to be a winner that he ended up becoming one of the greatest boxers of our time. But it just goes to show that sometimes you have to go through like that early trial and error period where you have to take your lumps. You got to take those hits and bumps. You got to get hurt and have the determination to suck it up and get back up again. So again, overall, this guy, he's giving good advice. I just think that with me, it's just I look at it differently because not because he's wrong, but because I don't want it as bad as he probably did or other guys do. So I look at it differently. But I think we really have the same mentality as far as how we think in regards to doing something that's challenging, that requires us to put ourselves out there and shit like that. But then this guy here, he replies and he says, each rejection I face has only made me feel shitter and more self-conscious. How could she mean nothing to you if you were trying to ask her out? If someone meant nothing to me, I wouldn't have anything to do with them unless I was forced to. And so he made up a good point too. And that's why I feel like the guy above him, even though he's giving good advice, some of it is kind of cope where you kind of got to flip the script in your mind where it's like, I like you. You want to go out with me? Oh, no. Oh, well, I never liked you to begin with. Like, it's that sort of cope, right? So, but looking at it like that can help some guys. But I think the guy underneath him rightfully called him out on this particular thing. How can she mean nothing to you if you were trying to ask her out? Like, that don't even make sense. Obviously, you valued her to some level for you to even ask her out in the first place. I don't think there's nothing wrong with admitting that, rejection hurts. It stings. I think you can accept the pain. The important thing is that you don't let it stop you. And so this is the last one. This person says, all this thread has shown me is no one here has worked retail or any customer service oriented job, because my job, do they fucking suck? And the last thing we want is someone trying to flirt. Even as a guy, having ugly older women hit on me just makes me uncomfortable. especially when I mention having a girlfriend and they persist with the weird comments like, fuck off, just don't flirt with employees at these jobs. Please, please, please. I mean, I've never worked I've barely worked anywhere, but I definitely haven't worked in retail, so I haven't had to deal with stuff like that for the most part. Like I said before, I've had gay dudes hit on me. I've had the gorillas hit on me, but my experiences being hit on by people I didn't like weren't awful. You know, I think if anything, honestly, I was kind of flattered, you know, like, one of those gay dudes that called me hot, I was like, whoop. That put a smile on my face. I was like, whoop. I mean, that honestly, that made me feel good though, you know, even though I wasn't attracted to him, I felt like him being so direct about that shit, that made me feel good. So my experiences with people I don't like trying to talk to me is different, because honestly, I felt flattered for the most part. The only one that was weird was when this guy had pulled up beside me and then he started offering me like money and shit, and like that. Now that was like legitimately like creepy territory, right? But even then, you know, like I'm a grown ass man. I'm not worried about like shit like that. Like that's like, you know, shit like that ain't nothing, you know. Unless a motherfucker trying to like stun gun me and tie me up and throw me in the trunk, I ain't worried about shit like that. So I guess I look at shit differently, and it's not like it's happened a lot, right? So I don't want to sit here and say that he's wrong, because I've only had to deal with it in a limited way. It's only happened like here and there, not very often. So I don't really have a perception of it of being like it's this awful thing and whatnot. And on top of that, it's not like I was at work when it happened, except the one time with the man looking girl, the stud. That was at work. But other than that, yeah, like I don't know. I don't look at it the same way, but I don't want to undermine his complaints because I haven't been in his shoes. Wait, I might go ahead and do a few more. Hold up. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do just a few more. So this guy says, pro tip, hoes are extremely unlikely to want to talk to people at work. For fuck's sake, I think that's what that means. I'm a dude and I don't even like talking to people. It is especially unpleasant when someone comes up and repeatedly talks to me and keeps trying to have a conversation. This is probably even more common with women who get dudes come up and try to talk to and obviously hit on them. Women, however, are less likely to walk up to dudes and ask them out, and are less likely to keep pushing a conversation despite the clear lack of interest from the other party. They are more likely to see they aren't wanted and leave. This guy just kept going and going, obviously trying to get personal information from her with the clear intent to find some common ground and transition into asking her out. And he did this even though the girl had the most monotone and disinterested voice and curt replies you could possibly have. Absolutely true. But I kind of feel him too, man, because I love people, but a lot of times it's not even that I don't like talking to people, but it's like I'm not prepared to talk to people. You know, if I go to my friend's house, I don't go there like I don't like talking to people. I ain't talking to y'all. We chopping it up. But it's like if I go to the store or something, I'm not going to the store with the mindset of having conversations and talking to people. You know, I'm trying to get from point A to point B. And luckily, as a man, for the most part, we get to enjoy that. But women, they really can't. Women, they have to always walk around with the knowledge that at any given moment, a guy could try to talk to them and try to hit on them or catcall them and whatnot, which most of the time really isn't like some serious end of the world issue. But, you know, it can be an annoyance for women, and it can put them into some creepy, uncomfortable situations. You know, that's why I do feel some degree of empathy for them. But, you know, that's the nature of the beast, man. I mean, you got to take the good with the bad. Women enjoy so many privileges as far as, you know, what comes with having a vagina between your legs, you know, and we always talk about how women have it so much easier. But that being said, you know, this is one of those things that women have to deal with more so than men, that can be very annoying, you know. And so, yeah, women have certain privileges that they enjoy, especially having being able to live life on easy mode for the most part, but it comes at a price, and this is one of those prices. You know, that value of your flesh being so high and attractive, it comes with everyone or so many men giving you attention and trying to talk to you and shit. So this guy says, like, I'm just trying to do my job, he's quoting. And then he says, fuck this cunt. If it were a hot dude she was attracted to, we wouldn't be seeing this video. The condition is absolutely not her being at work, which I agree with. And then the guy replies, hot people of both sexes are exceptions to basically every social rule because of the desire to bang them, overruling any other objections. This statement is useless and damaging, focusing on the few exceptions to a rule rather than understanding the social rule itself. But I think that I disagree with the second guy, because even he admits hot people of both sexes are exceptions to basically every social rule because of the desire to bang them, overruling any objections. But the thing is this though. Just like what the first guy says, the condition is absolutely not her being at work. And that's true. Her being at work isn't the problem. If she was attracted to him, it would not matter. I'm not saying to go hit on cashiers and shit, but I think this guy brings up a brilliant point. It's not her being at work that makes it a problem. It's a problem whether she's at work or not. Being at work just makes it worse. That's the only thing about it. And so that's why I think what the first guy is like, there's more truth to what the first guy is saying, because the fact is, it's not that she's at work. It's that something that she would never want to happen anyway is happening at work, right? Because that's really what it is. Her being at work only makes it worse. No girl wants to be approached by a guy that they don't like. No girl wants to be approached by some lame, dusty ass dude, or at least a man that they perceive as being beta or dusty or thirsty or lame. And for that to happen at work makes it worse because she's basically stuck. But just like he said, if he was hot, it wouldn't matter. If he was hot, it wouldn't matter. That's why, you know, I think maybe the person replying to him could be a girl. I'm just assuming that, because a lot of times girls don't like to admit to stuff like that, you know. And then the language, this statement is useless and damaging. That sounds like something a girl would say. So I think that second statement is from a girl. I could be wrong though. But yeah, I definitely agree with the first guy. It's more it's just like that. I think it was an SNL skit with Tom Brady, and they were doing this sketch about sexual harassment at work. And the whole punchline of the joke was that you can do all the things that would be considered sexual harassment are okay as long as you're hot. Like Tom Brady was the hot guy who was doing the exact same thing that the ugly guy was doing, but getting away with it, right? And again, the whole punchline was basically just be hot, just be attractive, don't be unattractive, right? But there's so much truth to that. And I remember when I was at school years and years ago, it was 6th grade, and we were all like crowding up to get on the bus, and there was this little skinny girl that was new, and she was about to get on the bus, and this guy that was beside me, like he had started feeling on her butt, right? And she turned around and she's trying to figure out who did it. And she saw him and she smiled. I never forgot that shit. That was a red pill moment for my ass. But what I'm saying was like that moment is so interesting because you could tell this guy basically like that's sexual assault, right? He basically groped her butt, and he got all up in there too. It was like I was right there beside him, but she turned around, and instead of turning around and being upset, she needed to make sure that whoever did it was attractive. And it turned out that it was one of the little street dudes from the hood who did it. And so when she saw it was him, she had smiled, right? And I never forgot that, because if it was me, she would have snapped. If it was me, she would have snapped. Bruh, that would have been a whole different scene. That would have been a whole different scene in front of that damn bus, bro. I'm telling you. But I never forgot that. And it's just a perfect example of how these situations take on a different life depending on how attracted the girl is to you. Because if a girl is attracted to you, it's a lot of shit you can get away with. You know, if a girl likes you, you can pretty much just smack her on the ass, bro. Just walk up and as long as it's you, and y'all don't even have to be dating or really like know each other like that. Like even if it's like from afar, like she just been like, that nigga's sexy. Y'all, like, and y'all ain't even talk. If you go up to her and just smack on the ass, bro, I hit the fuck out the mic. But if you just go up and smack on the ass, it's a good chance that she gonna do just like that girl did. Just smile. So this guy says, the craziest thing to me in all of this is that she's ugly as fuck, acting like she's hot shit, reserved only for Chad. She's definitely not ugly. She's not ugly. She's just average. Like she's really like a plain Jane. Like she's like a 5.5. If she, depending on how fat her ass is, if she put on makeup and really dressed to impress, she might even be able to elevate up to like a struggle 7. You know, like if she got a nice butt, if she's a pog back there, she could be like a 7, really. But I wouldn't say she's acting like she's hot shit. You know, she's just not attracted to the guy, you know? And the fact is, she is hot shit. She is hot shit because, like I said, man, 5s and 6s have a lot of value. If you're a female and you're at least a 6, you basically are hot shit. Now in today's dating market, you are. All right, we're gonna end it right there. That was the main topic and the thread of the day combined all into one. I hope you guys enjoy that. Just to kind of, I guess, cap everything off with this whole video and this whole thing here. My thing is just, I think a lot of people were just over exaggerating the seriousness of this interaction. It's an interesting interaction as far as being a good example of different things like body language, guys missing out on social cues, being overly persistent, beating around the bush on both, well, really primarily on his end, and things like that. But again, I don't really fault any one of them. You know, they're just two young people being young. You know, he's average with no value, trying to get laid. She's average with immense value, not wanting to give him laid. So, I mean, it's really just simple everyday stuff, man. It's not a big deal. It's just a good example of the phenomenon of men approaching women, specifically women who work as cash registers in retail, and how miserable that seems to make them. But I can definitely empathize with these girls, though. I definitely empathize with them because I would love to just talk to some of these cashier girls around my area. You know, not to try to hit on them, but just I want to ask them, like, how often do guys hit on you? You know, have you ever had to deal with any creepy guys or anything like that? Like, I would love to just have that kind of conversation, you know, but unfortunately they probably think I'm trying to hit on them. So I'll avoid that for now. But yeah, man, it's definitely an interesting thing. That's why I just leave these hoes alone, man. And one more thing I kind of want to touch on, because, you know, there's always been this debate between relying on choosing signals versus cold approaching girls. And there are pros and cons to both. But one of the reasons why I don't cold approach girls is because they don't want you to. That's just a cold, hard fact. Most of the time, they don't want you to do it. All you're doing is making them uncomfortable. All you're doing is putting them in an awkward position where they got to reject you. And they want to be nice. They don't want to hurt your feelings, but they also don't want to have sex with you. And so, and not to disrespect the game by saying, you know, well, guys just shouldn't do it because, you know, you got to think about the girl's feelings and shit. Because like I said, man, somebody got to do it. Somebody got to make a move. So I'm not saying it to disrespect the game. I'm just saying that me personally, I don't do it because, one, it's not a priority or a goal for me to get a girlfriend right now or to have sex right now. So that's part of the reason why I don't do that shit. But also, it's just out of understanding that most women don't want me to talk to them. They don't want me, you, or most other guys. They don't want you to talk to them. They don't care about you. They don't want to see you. They don't want to hear you. They don't want to help you. They don't want to love you. They don't want to like you. They don't want to fuck you. They don't want you to talk to them. Most girls don't want you to talk to them. I'm telling you, girls go out every day And I can almost guarantee you this. They see guys and they probably think, I bet he gonna try to talk to me. I bet he gonna say something. I hope he don't say nothing. And when that guy doesn't say anything, they breathe a sigh of relief. I guarantee you, bro, it's probably been so many girls who saw me and thought, this dude, but man, I bet he try. I know he gonna try, and I don't. I never do. And I bet you, like they I ain't gotta reject this dirty ass, dusty ass nigga, you know. But I mean, it is what it is, bro. They don't want you to do it. Now they, of course, they want Chad and Brad and Tyrone and Pookie, Ray, Udi, and Boo Boo. But they don't want. And when I say you, I'm not saying like you specifically, like whoever is listening. I'm just saying that we all know, and that other guy confirmed, that it's about a 90% failure rate when you're talking about asking out women. And so on average, you can say like, okay, it's a 90% chance that she don't want me to talk to her. 90% of guys, she don't want them to talk to her. So that's what I mean when I say that. But again, I'm not saying that to discourage you. I'm just saying it as just a fact. They don't, most of the approaches that are made on a day-to-day basis are unwanted. 90% at least are unwanted. All they do is make the girl uncomfortable. All they do is put them in an awkward position. So that's what I mean by that. They don't want it. They only want it from the guys that they like. And the guys that they like are few and far in between. And so that was the main topic. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And next we're going to do some comments. And then we're going to get out of here. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed that episode. Next, we're going to do some comments, and then I'm going to skedaddle. So, let's get right into it. So, Flim says on the Chad Marco featuring Stax Boy Wonder, Dave Voulant song, came here to hear Stax after the Resident Evil 2 remake stream. Yeah, I was talking about the history of Chill Boys, you know, the old group I used to be a part of. And Stax Boy Wonder was one of the producers / rappers of said group. And that was one of the songs that we did together. And I was thinking about, you know, trying to get the guys back together so I could get them on the Botcast, so we could just go through the history of like Chill Boys and the Chill Gang, and you know what everyone is doing now, and just the whole process of like getting together and making music, and just talking about that whole period of time, you know, when we were a lot closer and tight. So I'm gonna try to set that up as soon as possible, because it was fun going back and retelling some of those old stories, and trying to put the story together as far as like how we got together and how we used to roll and shit like that. So I'm gonna try to see if I can get them over here so I can get them on the Botcast one day. Oh shit. Sam says on the Patreon, members get early access to songs from the upcoming drill music post. Do people actually leak your music from Patreon? Unbelievable. No, because that's the first time I ever put anything on Patreon. I was just saying that it wouldn't be hard for someone to just take the song from Patreon and then upload it somewhere. You know, so I was just acknowledging what someone could easily do, you know, and not even like I'm tripping on it. I just realized like, oh man, if somebody really wanted to just, put it out there like that, they could. It's the same thing with OnlyFans, right? You see guys like they'll subscribe to a girl just to download all her videos and then put it all over the internet, and so that's just how shit is. But it's the nature of the beast. I was just making a joke about it, but it's never happened, but I'm sure it will someday. So this guy says on the Life is Neat song, I've started to socialize and found this again. This song reminds me of times when I was self-harming, addicted to porn, nicotine and alcohol, scrolling pole, and night walking with music. We're all gonna make it, bros. Yeah, that sounds like a dark time indeed. When I made this song, I was kind of like transitioning out of those dark days. I was still a neat, but I was learning to enjoy life a lot more. But it's bad when you're scrolling through pole a lot. Thanks for that comment, guy. So Jackie Legs says on the Won't Go Out Today video, thanks for being an artist that we can all relate to. That's the goal. That's the goal, man. But really, I guess that's not even the goal. It's just, my thing is just being real, I know early on when I was making music, I really didn't care about what I was talking about. I was talking about like driving Lambos and fucking bitches and smoking pounds of weed and shit like that. But it wasn't even because I was trying to like be fake or nothing. I was just having fun, like when we first started rapping, it wasn't about being authentic and shit like that, but as I just kept doing music, inevitably the real me started to kind of come out more. And those were some of the funnest songs to make, because it's easier to express who you really are than to express like an idea, right? Of like this guy who's just super duper balling and shit like that, when that's not really your lifestyle. I mean, those songs were fun and just again, we did a lot of that stuff just because we were just having fun with shit. But I think getting to that point where I realized that, I can just make songs about my day to day and like Debt Filled with No Girlfriend, Life is Need, and Won't Go Out Today, Couldn't Say Hello. And those songs are even more fun to make because there's a level of authenticity there. And it allows me to connect with people who have gone through similar things that I have. So that's the beauty of like transitioning into more of an authentic artist. You get to just like he said, you become someone that people can relate to. So Rich Homie Key, and this is Stax Boy Wonder, by the way. This is the guy that is really he still is Chill Boy. Like it ain't like Chill Boys ever broke up or Chill Gang ever broke up. Everybody's kind of doing their own thing now. But yeah, that's Stax Boy Wonder, if you were wondering. He says, "Hey man, this was fire, bro. Glad I got to see it in real life. Keep going up, bro." Yeah, he was here that night when we recorded. Well, he wasn't here for the first night. It took like 2 separate nights to record the whole thing. He was here for the second night. Sleep on the couch for the most part. But yeah, like he was here. So he got to see like history in the making. So Jesus Christ, oh God, says, great video. I'd love to see a night walk music video. And then Flim replies, based, Herbivore would also be a pretty good candidate. I'm definitely considering a night walk music video for sure. That's high on the list, right? Right now, I'm eyeing like The Sickness, Sharingan, and The Ballad of Kentre Brown. Those are the 3 that I'm really eyeing, but Nightwalk is like high on the list too. It's like top 10. Translucent says, I don't give a fuck if you like this song, we're friends. That's on the Debt Filled with No Girlfriend song. My big banger hit. That's like my Crossroads. Okay, so Google Vivo says, can't relate, too productive on the Won't Go Out Today video. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the irony of it is like, it's supposed to be like a a example of like a debauched, neat life, right? But I'm sitting there like working out, writing music, recording, preparing food and shit. So it's like it's that's, but you know, in reality, that's, you know, that's how I live. Like even before I started working, you know, it won't like I was just completely lazy. You know, did a lot of working out, making music, reading books, cleaning up, shit like that. So, you know, I always just try to stay busy. So Flim says on the Won't Go Out Today video, I noticed the mic was at seating level while you were spitting for the video. When you actually recorded the song, did you sit as well? Wouldn't standing give your lungs more room to expand? And then I replied, this nigga LOL. I just thought that was funny because I was like, he would say some shit like that. But he caught it though. I don't record sitting down. I never record sitting down. I always record standing up. But I thought just for the sake of the video, like I just felt it would fit better. Cause it made my studio session look more like relaxed than it really is. Like, oh, I'm just like, I don't even record in my room because I don't like the acoustics and shit. I go to the living room when I record actually. But yeah, that was just a touch for the sake of the video. It made it look more like, okay, I just roll out of bed, hop in the chair and record a song. No, I set shit up in the living room. I'm standing up. I don't rap sitting down. Because just like he said, I feel like rapping standing up allows me to really get the most out of my toolbox as far, I guess, as far as like my voice, my vocal cords, my lungs and all that. When I'm standing up, I feel like I'm able to rap better. I know I said I'm being authentic, but I do exaggerate here and there. Like the Arizona tea, I don't drink that bullshit. But you know, that's the certified sad boy drink. So this guy says on the Zaku song, dope, especially that part around 59 seconds. And I don't know what that is, but I guess it's dope. But yeah, I like Zaku. Zaku is a dope ass song, bro. I feel like Zaku is what I wanted Pulled Up in a Gundam to be. Oh no, Thought I Put Up in a Gundam. Like, you know, Thought I Put Up in a Gundam is okay, but I feel like Zaku is what I really envisioned for that, but it ended up being Zaku. And Flim says, on the Won't Go Out Today video, had me smiling the whole time. I see why you chose this song in particular. Easy to get footage for. Imagine trying to film Cashier Girl cake. Yeah, but you know, I'm gonna have to do those things. Like I'm thinking of like how I'm gonna have to reach out and make some big boy plays to do videos from some of these songs that have a more demanding concept, you know. But me being as wise as I am, I know to crawl before you walk and to walk before you run. And so Won't Go Out Today was the perfect video to start at, you know. And the next 2 or 3 videos are going to be videos where it's going to be like maybe different locations, like from my house to like outside a friend's house or like somewhere, right? And I might have like some of my friends get involved too. Like that's the next step. And then after that, that's when I can start thinking about, okay, I gotta hire an actress or a girl to, you know, play this role in the Ballad of Kentrey Brown video, you know, so something like that, right? So I'm just taking it one step at a time, but I'm gonna have to make those bigger plays if I want to do videos for some of my other songs. But you know, crawl before you walk. And Black Star ENT, who directed it, or co-directed it, IGV Fresh. Now, what, Paperboy Fresh says the video really came out dope. I'm glad I could be a part of the process, bro. And thank you so much for coming over and directing and recording and holding the camera for me. And that's that episode of the Botcast. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And I will be returning relatively soon with another episode, I hope, because I didn't get to put one out in December for various reasons. So I might try to do like 3 episodes this month just to make up for it. But we'll see. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I don't know what the next one's going to be about, but I'll figure that out. So you guys stay safe. You guys stay healthy. You guys stay pursuing your dreams. Hunting for your dream. Johnny.